Wrack Exoverse is a first-person tower defense game with roguelike elements. That's a lot of descriptors. Now, I've had this game since it came out about a year ago, but it wasn't ready then. Ready or not, it's out of early access. Let's give it a go. There are so many aspects to this game, let's go over them in the order that you'll play them. First, you get to pick a character. There are 4 choices, and they come with a different weapon and starting turret. They're all good and get the job done, but I have favorites. Starlin with her long-range rifle that charges, so useful. It's great at gunning down enemies as soon as they come out of the portal. Or Vance's gun does a micro explosion if it hits flesh instead of a shield. That can clear out a group of enemies. Even though I have a favorite, I would play any of the characters to experience something different. When you start the run, you enter the Nebula Omnis, which from this point forward will be called the shop area. That's a lot easier to say. This is a place to spend money on new turrets, weapons, and items. Keep in mind that anything you spend here will lower the funds you have available to spend building your maze. One strategy is to buy now and deal with all the enemies yourself without turrets. You do get more money during a level. You won't be completely broke, but it's a difficult strategy. In the shop area, you can also buy permanent unlocks, weapons, and items that will be available in future runs. This spends alien parts you pick up in a level. A little gross, but I like it. The more you play, the more you unlock. But the items drop from enemies and you need to collect them. They will disappear if you don't pick them up. The timer for that is a little short. After the shop area, you finally get to build a maze, and I only say finally because it's taken us this long in the video. In the game, it's quick. Anyway, building a maze is fun. I love trying to craft the perfect maze. You want to create a long, winding maze that maximizes the weapons shooting the aliens. It's a little like a puzzle. Some of the levels have stuff in the way, and you either need to work around or work it into your maze, like a barrel of toxic fluid or a gun. Yeah, sometimes they give you free firepower. The guns have specific patterns of attack. One gun might shoot 1 block forward, but another one shoots 1 forward and then 1 behind. So you either need to work your maze around them or pick a character with a turret you like. There are also items like mines that are cheap but only work once. The maze does get a little weird since there can be gaps between your walls and the walls of the level, but as long as you watch the enemy paths, it's fine. They won't walk through those narrow areas. I appreciate that the game has an overhead view. It's much easier and faster. You do need to watch out for the red dinosaurs that will destroy your walls. They're the only enemies that attack your wall, but that's enough. One game, they blew open a part of my wall and enemies poured into an unguarded area. I lost that one quick. You should be building in a way to protect against this sort of attack. The portals do show you the enemy types that will be coming, so it's your fault if it happens. Otherwise, the enemies ignore the wall and follow the path you created. Side note, I wish the game showed me where the walls were damaged. There's visible damage, but it would be quicker if it was highlighted red in the minimap or even on the screen. Between enemy waves, I always want to repair the wall. While the enemies won't attack the wall, they will attack you. Taking the fight to them can be difficult. I've died a few times. The enemies shoot projectiles that have travel time though. This means you can dodge them, but some of them follow you. Those are a real pain. The first person shooting is my favorite part, even if the guns don't feel great to shoot, but being effective is fun. I feel like I'm in a competition with my turrets. It's hard to ignore the sound that plays as you kill more enemies and raise the multiplier. It really makes you want to keep killing enemies. For some reason, an escalating sound as the pitch gets higher and higher makes you want to keep going. Who knew? Headshots do give a bonus, and I'm good at hitting them, so that helps too. You're building up a power shot meter that does something different for each gun. It's nice to build that up and get a satisfying blast of power. During the waves of enemies, an item might spawn to help out. These range from new weapons, upgrades to your character like +1 to speed, or one-time use items like a nuclear bomb. There's no comparison, which is a pain though. So if you do pick up a new item that replaces your current one, you'll have to do some looking in the menu to see which one you want to keep. It doesn't show you on screen which one you might want to pick up. It just automatically picks it up. So that's one round of the game. You need to complete 3 rounds in the same area, with the third round being a boss. After a boss, you go back to the shop area. There are more random items, but the selection isn't great. I never find exactly what I'm looking for. It's not exciting. Sometimes I leave the shops disappointed. Unfortunately, there's no synergy between the items. Anyway, if you die, you need to restart the run. There's no checkpoints. That's the point of the game. It's a little roguelike-y. Yeah. After I killed the first boss, the game gave me an alternative first area. This helps remove some of the monotony of playing the first area over and over and over again. The biggest issue I have with Wrack Exoverse is the character. Well, specifically one character, Fabian. They can turn invisible. Why? Am I missing some strategy where you rely only on turrets? I always want to be involved in attacking, so being invisible is not appealing at all. Also, Fabian is the only one that starts with a pistol in the weapon slot 1. Another weapon that fits in that slot will likely drop. Other characters will now have 2 weapons. Being able to swap between weapons when one runs out of ammo is incredibly useful, as you might think. Poor Fabian. Overall, Wrack Exoverse is fine. There's nothing here that makes it really stand out, but it is an interesting set of mechanics that work well together.